hope I've grown up. I mean, it's much easier to be mature on sets without Josh and Liam. I'm sure I'm unrecognizable to people I'm working with. We all helped each other get a handle on everything. So I guess kind of going off and not doing movies with them was kind of like losing training wheels. And then it's like, okay, I'm riding in the street. Okay, I can do it.
For me, it's like always a hard question. Like anytime anybody asks, like, what have you learned? I don't know if I just don't learn anything ever, or I don't know, because I feel like I'm constantly learning things just in life and experience.
I think sort of getting used to like your world constantly changing. That's you know, going from one extreme to the other is something that over the past 6 years is I think it gets easier. You know, I think at first as a young person, doing something like this and going from one extreme situation to another is really overwhelming. And I think over years you learn to sort of, I think, let it go and not be so attached to having a routine or, you know, feeling safe at all. I think you just have to let go of that feeling.
You gotta just let go of that. You're not gonna get
just
that.
Just accepting that you're, you know, you gotta just go with it.
It was absolutely the most miserable 3 weeks. I think in the three movies.
So happy you said it.
Was it only 3 weeks? It was only 3 weeks?
No,
I mean
it felt like 9 weeks, but it was about 3 weeks. It was really truly miserable. It's kind of a fun sequence to make, in a sense, and to sort of put together and see how it comes together. But you know, these tunnels, you had to duck. We all had to wear hard hats. The water was heated, so it made everything
Poor
humid.
Liam couldn't stand up straight for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it made it humid.
Josh and I were like
smoky. Yeah, it was wet. It was miserable. Everybody was miserable.
And the thing is, like, the costumes were not at all waterproof.
No, they're not at all.
And they had
waterproof.
pockets that would actually just like
fill with water.
But it was when we get to the fight sequence. Sorry, we're all just like complaining. We had a ball. We're very lucky. But when we had the fight sequence in the sewer, you know, all of our gear and our costumes were completely waterlogged. So it was like an extra 20 pounds. I don't know math, but felt like an extra 2,000. I don't know pounds.
I mean, for me, a message that's always resonated that I think is pretty strong is about standing up for what you believe in, and how one person has the ability to affect something. You know, that one person can stand up and get behind a cause or what they believe in and fight for it. So I think that those are pretty strong messages. I hope that fans take, and I think they have. I think that's why they connected with it in a way, because it empowered them, and the consequence of war, obviously. You know, I think Katniss is a character who wants nothing more than to not have war, but unfortunately she kind of realizes that's where it's headed, and that's what has to be done in order to have a revolution.
The notion of social change and the possibility that you know, defiance in the face of injustice and kindness in the face of cruelty, that I think young people, I think that these sort of popularity of, you know, dystopic fiction speaks to an anxiety that young people feel about the future that awaits them. And what I find so hopeful in these books and in these movies is the fact that you can create change, and that you can refuse to play the game and see your world change as a result. And I think that also the voice of young women and their power to change the world and their world, and to be the spokesperson for that kind of change has been something that certainly Jen has risen to the occasion of, and that I hope young people, whether they're boys or girls, will rise to that occasion and change the world.
I feel the impact of being a part of such a huge movie that does so much for so many people. I mean, it would be impossible not to, and I think that this character is so overwhelmingly supportive of women, obviously, and is iconic. This character, however, is remarkable, and in my opinion, the greatest. I think she's the greatest female character ever.